Emyooga Caroline, who is the Deputy Resident City Commissioner for Machindi. You're most welcome, Madam.
Thank you so much, moderator and viewers. Good morning, Uganda. I'm Emyooga Caroline, Deputy RCC Makindye. I want to thank the management of UBC for hosting me and thank God. This is my first time to be invited here. I want to thank Microfinance Support Center for good and mobilization that we are hosted here. So I really am humbled. Thank you.
Well, I'll be hosting you more on issues of accountability for Machindi because I'm well conversant with that area. Now, just next to her is one of the beneficiaries, and that is Opolot Alfred, Secretary Kasubi Parish, Carpenters Emyooga Circle. Good morning, gentlemen.
Oh, good morning, moderator. I thank you so much for hosting me and the team of Micro Support Center, the Deputy RCC of Machindi. I'm here to thank the President of Uganda for the initiative he started of Emyooga Circle. I also thank the UBC TV for hosting us. We thank you so much.
And at the extreme end, he's a man who will have a lot of questions to answer this morning. And he is William Chirunda, who happens to be the Zonal Manager, Microfinance Support Center, Kampala. Most welcome.
Thank you, moderator. Good morning, viewers. I am happy to be here, and I take the opportunity to thank the UBC management, Government of Uganda, and Microfinance Support Center for the opportunity to come and give us a chance to air the success stories of the program.
Chirunda, to begin with you this morning. Now, briefly tell us about the Microfinance Center, your mandate, your coverage, and definitely the product that you have.
So, Microfinance Support Center is a government institution fully owned by the Government of Uganda, established in 2001. We are basically here to support and to go straight into the mandate. We are basically here on two main items or objectives. One is to provide micro support in terms of funds, micro funds to the ordinary Ugandans. And the customers here we're targeting are circles, groups, associations, microfinance institutions. And we are also here to provide business development services in terms of capacity building, trainings of any form, be it professional, be it emotional, so that we develop and empower the Ugandans to improve their capacity. Briefly, that is Microfinance Support Center. We are all over the country in various zonal offices, supporting Ugandans from far and wide. Yes.
One of the things you've hinted is to train. You even went as far as emotionally.
Yes.
Now, the question is, most of the times, when you talk about government funds under Emyooga to say, which is directly under you people, there is this element of lack of sufficient training, lack of sufficient information, mindset, where someone gets the money, well knowing it's revolving fund, and then you hear them say, the president was thanking us for electing him. Is it a weakness on your side? Why do we have this? Yet you have that noble, sober responsibility.
Well, the program is very much alive to the challenges that we are currently facing, mindset being one of them. However, what we are supposed to do is to continuously empower the Ugandans through trainings. Why I say it is beyond the trainings, it is beyond the capacity building. In development financing, we go beyond capacity building. I am supposed to make sure that the Emyooga Circle formed, for example, a carpenters category formed in Kasubi, is transformed from the normal, ordinary way of doing things, the conventional way of doing things, to make sure I empower them in terms of capacity. The leaders should be able to articulate and be able to support their people we all know that the performance of a SACCO is mainly pivotal on the leadership. So I am supposed to make sure that the leadership of the SACCO know exactly what they are doing. I'm also supposed to make sure that in case of any challenges the leaders face, be it financial, be it management, be it emotional support to their members, they are supposed to be able to do it. Remember, when SACCOs are forming, I don't know the person who's going to become the leader. It is the members who elect the leader. So you don't know the capacity of this leader at the point of him or her being elected. We come in to empower that person in all possible ways to be able to govern and lead the SACCO going forward.
Well, before I move to the other people on the panel, also briefly talk about the Emyooga. What is Emyooga to someone watching us? Yes, it may be a common thing known by people because they've heard of Emyooga, but what is it in the simplest terms, please?
So basically Emyooga is the presidential initiative on wealth and job creation, where 18 categories were generated. These include carpenters, fishermen, border borders, tailors. These were categories that the cabinet and the president came up with and thought that through these channels I can be able to support about 33% of the normal Ugandans or ordinary Ugandans, to bring them from the subsistence economy and elevate them to the money economy. So through these circles that were formed, 18 per constituency, and in the terms of Kampala and Wakiso, parish-based and constituency-based to some of them, these were able to receive an initial 30 million seed capital that they were supposed to invest in their categories to support. They were supposed to invest in their different activities they were carrying out. For example, if they were tailors, they were supposed to invest in their line of business for them to be able to boost the people in the different categories within the tailoring line. Same as the fishermen, same as the border borders, same as the taxis. So Emyooga came targeting the 33% of the ordinary Ugandans who are in the subsistence sector to elevate them to the money economy, to be able to support them and transform their lives, create jobs, empower them financially to be able to support themselves and their beneficiaries. Yes.
Now I move to the President's representative, Madam RCC. When we talk about the Emyooga, because for you the eye of His Excellency in that particular area of your jurisdiction, help us understand how this has moved in connection to the aid given by Microfinance Support Center.
Thank you so much, moderator. Once again is to thank you and thank UBC management. And I want to thank the President of Republic of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, and congratulate him upon taking the tour to the whole of Uganda. We are monitoring. Actually, when he's moving, it also energizes us as his children, to see him moving and touching the lives of very many people, Ugandans, and majorly focusing on PDM and Emyooga, where he has been. And when we have been following him, we also get out and monitor and inspect government programs. I want to thank God that I'm hosted here. It's my first time. I want to thank my family for supporting me, and my husband and everybody who has been part of my career growth. Now, coming to Emyooga, one is to congratulate Microfinance Support Center, because the inception of the program started when I was in Chibare, that is Bunyoro sub-region. That's when we started it, and because I've been part of it since it started up to where we have reached now and where we are heading. When I was posted to Kampala, that was last year, September, when the President of Uganda sent me here, I found when my predecessor had already started on it, on the disbursement of the monies, then monitoring and follow-ups. I came at a time when we were doing real monitoring, physical moving out of office to the field, And I really want to thank Microfinance Support Center. When we started, in my office, I have 3 assistant RCCs. Those that were also posted by the President of Uganda to support my operations, and so they were monitoring Emyooga, the monies that were given to the beneficiaries, how are they using the money, and advising them on how they can make good enterprises out of the money that were given out of that. So when I came, I shared with Microfinance Support Center and our KCCA team. One was to do AGMs, and which was done before we ended the year. We had AGMs to make sure that the circle leaders and association leaders give accountability to us, the money they got and how they used it. And the good news is that in that meeting, it gave us a picture that people are very appreciative. Even their looking itself was enough to see that the President, thank you for the good work you're doing for the country. Their lives and the projects are there, vividly seen on ground. So we assessed them there, we guided them, Microfinance was there, ISO was there, and State House team came on AGM. Then after that meeting, that was end of December, we agreed with Microfinance Support Center that we need to do verification exercise. You verify circle per circle, and which we started last month. As an RCC, I hosted a very big team for almost 3 weeks. I had Microfinance Support Center, I had Ministry of Finance, I had ISO, I had a team of KCCA. So entire team came on ground, and the whole team was focusing on verifying on these circles.
Are these circles for real?
Whether these circles are for real. Because the message we had was like that Kampala money was given, but it could have been eaten, and it is not there. But I want to report to the general public that the money were given and the beneficiaries are there, and they are very appreciative. So we verified 56 were inspected. During my office, short term of office, we inspected them with that big team that I'm telling you, and very few circles mismanaged the money because of leadership challenges, and those, some could take them and could not pay back, and those ones we handed them over to police. So the Katwe, those who belong under Katwe, they are investigated. Those who belong under Kabaragara are being investigated. So it is handled at that level.
So out of the 56
yes,
that you did visit, how many of these had mishandled the monies?
You know, during the inception of the program, Makindye were given 66 circles, got the money. The 66 circles, 2 of them received 50 million of the monies. Then the remaining 4 could not get the money in that time, the 30 million. The reason was some were not organized in the leadership, some had group challenges, some members were not enough to make the target we wanted. So Microfinance and us, we said, no, these 4 cannot be given money. Actually, when we were doing verification, we found 2 circles, the money is still on the account, waiting for them to prepare themselves so that we give out the money, which we are actually now working on, so that these people can get the money because it has been on the account. So when we gave out to 66 circles, the 64 got 30 million. Then the 2 got 50 million. Then now the update I can still give to the general public and my people of Makindye, then we have so far given out 10 circles additional capital by Microfinance Support Center, the 20 million, because the President guided us that after giving out the money, now go back and assess those circles that we were given the 30 million. If they are doing very well, add them the 20 million. So far as Makindye, 10 circles received the additional capital, and we have already now done many, or we have already assessed many of those that got, and we are preparing them. Come this financial year, we are going to give them the money. You remember when people started mismanaging the money, the President guided that through State House, Mr. Moses Byaruhanga that they should stop giving out the money. We first assess and prove that the money we gave out is there or not. And this is what we have been doing through my office, because you all know that each district and a division, there is a task force. Now, the Emyooga task force is headed by the RDC or RCC of the area. So Makindi, I am the head of the task force. So all the decisions that are being made and done in the division, I have to guide them on behalf of the President of Uganda. So when the President guided that we should stop the disbursing out of money, we first understand what is going on, and that's what we did through Microfinance Support Center. But we agreed that we assess those who are to get the 20 million additional capital, and that one we have done it. So pending to be allowed by the President that go ahead and give out so that people can get the money. But the program is moving on well. It is moving on well. That is what I can report.
Well, I love the fact that you allude to as things moving on smoothly. Now, if all is as you have said, paperwork is something very easy to do by Ugandans. But are we seeing that transformation of the beneficiaries? Because that's where we shall gauge. Yes. It is very different for me to present a group of 30 people and they all acknowledge we got the money, we are using the money. But you see, wealth is something you can't hide. Are we seeing that social transformation, for example, in your area? How many beneficiaries away from circles? And if you have to look at these beneficiaries, are you seeing Madam RCC, is it in a tandem that if this people received 50 million, can we go back and see that, yes, this money came, it transformed, it improved their lives?
Yes, thank you so much. The improvement is a lot. There is a lot of improvement, because when we went on ground during monitoring with my assistants and the ISO staff, it was seen, even the looking of the people, it alone showed us that there is a lot of improvement. If I would really tell Ugandans that we should vote for President Museveni, because he's a good parent and he sees very far where we don't see us, the children. So when we went there, we found out that many of the beneficiaries have something to do. They started something. The enterprises are real enterprises, because we could visit circles, then we could sometimes go to some of the enterprises, look at them. What did you do? I happened to interact with the ghetto structures. I was impressed by what these young people told me. They said, for us, we were nothing. We were struggling to the extent that by getting a meal was to kill a person or do something or nasty, and you earn, you eat, you get what to eat. But he said, now we are okay. We don't survive on wrong things. We are surviving on the starting capital that the President of Uganda gave us. And they were very, very appreciative of it. I happen also to interact with women. You know, women are very okay. When you go to areas of Gaba, when you go to Bunga, there are some circles in Munyonyo and other parts of Makinde. If I had time, I would give you the document and you look at it. But the projects are there and people are very, very appreciative. And I've seen now people have increased the support of the President. So come 2026, I'm telling you, my brother, we are going to score.
Well, I'll not let you go into that direction. This is all about fighting poverty. Now, I'll go to one of the beneficiaries, Opolot. First, let us understand, you're representing carpenters in Subi Parish who benefited from this. Brief. I know storytelling can take a long time, but be like the born again who give testimonies in 5-15 minutes. Who are you? How was this helped and transformed?
First of all, I take this opportunity to thank the Office of the President, Micro Support Center, Minister of Trade, all the commercial officers who have helped us. I also thank my chairman, Senyonga Sulaiman, Treasurer Namial Madina, From Kasubi Parish Carpenters, Emyooga Circle. I'm so happy. Why am I so happy? It's just because we were nothing. But when the president came up with this idea of Emyooga, we got hope again of being transformed into something better. We received Emyooga fund that was in 2021 as a seed capital of 30 million. We had a challenge of machines. You know, we deal in wood, being that we are carpenters, we would carry our wood all the way from where we were from Kasubi up to Waise, so that that wood can be transformed into a better wood. So when we got this 30 million, the first challenge that we had to buy machines worth 25 million to help us strengthen our work. From the time we bought machines, our work has been eased. When we buy our wood, we have everything. We are able to supply in large quantities. We normally get basic contracts from schools, factories, companies coming in to buy our different types of furniture. We are delighted to be, we are happy because we've transformed the youth that used to stay along northern bypass, stealing people. There was a lot of crimes and a lot of cases at Kawala police station. But as I speak right now, this number of cases have reduced because we've done a lot of mindset change of the youth. Those who used to steal, now we engage them in these activities, and now they have no time to think about doing wrong things. We have the girls who had gone into prostitution. We've also engaged, they used to have their name Neko. Neko means Neko Liajang. But now they're no longer into such activities. We've engaged them into carpentry work, and they are benefiting. We have been in position of growing at a very fast rate. We've been in position of saving up to 70 million. You'd ask, how has this saving multiplied to up to that extent?
Yes, definitely.
It is because when you come to furniture, wood furniture is very expensive. When we've got a lot of friends who have connected us to US contracts from companies, what and what. These people come in with a lot of money, and we've managed to inject it back as shares. Shares, what do I mean? This is the amount of money that we give out as loans to people. Then then at the end of the year, they are able to collect interest out of what man has been given out. We have been in position of having a membership of 1.4 million, and also been in a position of having a share capital. At the start it was 2.4, but at the moment as I speak, it has grown up to 40 million. Then lastly, we have a number of 200. Before, we had started as a group of association of 10 associations, each contributing to a number of 10 people, making to a number of 150. So out of these 10 associations, they make what we call a circle of Emyooga. So as I speak right now, our circle has managed to give out loans of 6 million. And out of the 6 million, at least 4.5 million has been paid back, and the 1.5 is still among the people. I'll talk about the challenges.
Before you go to the challenges, let me get this clear from you. You've talked about the success stories.
Yes, sir.
These happen to be a huge chunk of people.
Very
when
true.
you talked about being given 30 million, I thought you maybe 30 people, and it's very easy to convince them that let's buy machinery. Now, how have you managed to keep together? How have you managed to manage these huge groups of people, the membership you're talking about? Because that is one of the challenges of many of the circles. Leadership. When money is coming, sometimes it is hard to manage, but handling people. People borrow and you're saying they are paying back, share capital from 2, now you're talking of 40 and all this. What has been the technique that you've used?
The best technique that we've used is that we've always invited in our seniors from Micro Support Center and the Ministry of Trade, sending us people to come and train. They've been coming in several times. They've been coming in and out, training us. They've managed to change our mindset change. They've trained leaders. I would give an example. Each association has got a chairman, a treasurer, and a secretary each. So before even we give out loans from the executive committee, which is made of a chairman, deputy chairman, and the treasurer, secretary, and the publicist and the 2 committee members, before we give a loan, this chairman and the treasurer of the association will also approve that, please, we are giving this number of people. So through that strict controls, there's nothing as good as to have strict controls when it comes to money. Some people thought that the seed capital they had given us to eat. That's the mindset they had. The president of Uganda is a give back, giving back to people. He has given us to eat. But we kept on encouraging these people that it's like planting a seed, like planting maize. You plant like 2 or 3 pieces, but when this maize grows, you eat a lot. So we could encourage people not to eat this small thing, but to work hard so that we can multiply this little one and get something better. So another thing that has helped us to manage this huge youth, I call it youth because a number of our people are made of youth. And dealing with youth, you have to love them. Minus love, you cannot manage. And also would also say it is by God. When you pray, a team that prays overcomes. We would also pray. We have Muslims, we have but we would encourage them to pray as a team. And God has helped us to overcome this because, first of all, when it comes to carpenter, we save into material. We have different types of furniture that we do. We have the 3 drawers, the 2 drawers, the saloon chairs. The women are doing saloon chairs. They are sewing the leather that we put on these chairs. So you find that we've divided them. And whenever they do these things in large amounts, when we sell and get bigger interest, we also give out to them as loans. They have other needs that they have to meet. So we've managed to see them changing their livelihood. Those who used to beg are no longer begging. That's why I go back and thank the president of Uganda for having brought such an initiative, this kind of program to people. Thank you so much.
Well, that is one of the beneficiaries giving a testimony, if I may use that word, of how they've... Sis, I have your question. Just give it some time. I just want to rush to the Microfinance Support Center. Now, he's talked about training. As the Microfinance Center, away from having this disbursement of the funds, how is this training done? Because one of the things I've learned with the youth, he's talked about of late, calling them for anything, they must have where they're going to sign and have transport money. But he talks about numerous trainings. How do you manage to do this if these trainings are there?
Thank you, moderator. So the trainings we've done are in several forms, several structures. First, we've done the structured trainings where we invite them to a general place, one common place, where we invite all the circle leaders and talk to them about the different activities that are supposed to be done by a circle, the different areas, governance, credit and delinquency management, records keeping. Then, from that point, we go to the circle premises at their offices where we meet the leaders and other people that are involved in leadership of the circle. We meet the members, highlight to them the importance of the different structures. Now, as we are talking to the leaders about governance, as we are talking to the loans committee, the SUPCO, we are also talking to the members in terms of mindset. You guys, you need to make sure your mindset needs to adjust and have a developmental mindset instead of a thank you vote or casimo from the president, as people usually term it. Working through other stakeholders like the commercial officers at KCCA, teams from State House, teams from Finance, teams from the RCC's office. They've also gone ahead to visit the circles and offer capacity building. They also talk to them about mindset change. They also talk to them about records keeping and all these other areas. Now, further, some of them have come to our office premises where we sit in boardrooms, where we sit in small spaces because they are small gatherings. And we also talk to them hands-on. We show them what to do. For example, someone wants to calculate the interest rate someone would pay in $1 million shillings. So we've given them hands-on trainings in our offices, at their premises. Everywhere you get a chance to talk to them, you would be able to talk to them. We've done supervision by the different stakeholders. We do this by visiting them anywhere you find them over the phone. We're also able to talk to them and explain to them. So these are different channels. Of course, this is also a chance to talk to the people and also educate them and tell them, no, this is developmental money, supposed to elevate you from point A to point B instead of misusing it and thinking it is money that you're going to use once. It's a revolving fund meant to help all of us and other members of the circle. Yeah.
Now, this takes me back to the RCC. I was listening to Opolot giving a successful story. Now, one of the things, much as we are looking at the achievements of the Emyooga, there's been a narrative that you're preaching to the converted. That actually the people the president is targeting necessarily are not the ones that are benefiting. Maybe men in suits. I know Polot is putting it on because he's coming today. He's coming for the set. I don't refer to him, to be specific. The already that are doing well are still are the ones that are benefiting from these programs. So if you're to go and visit a workshop, they'll tell you we got the 30 million. But these are young men, young women that are already doing well. Fairly, not the rich, but had attained a certain level. And they are not in that target of His Excellency. Now, you moved along. I need you to clarify that when you say the Opolot, this is not the ordinary carpenter. This is a young man who studied his carpentry somewhere in a technical institute, got his capital, had his workshop, heard of Emyooga and Microfinance Support Center, organized his workers, organized his colleagues as the chirabos, because they are able to have the paperwork and all that, tapped into this money. Now we are jubilating of success stories, yet the would-be beneficiary has been left out. Yes.
Thank you so much, moderator. You know, the English says that the future belongs to the organized. I thank God that Opolot is among the organized class. And Opolot is one of the many that have successful stories. If we had time, we would share more details of what we saw in the field, because there are very many people with successful stories. Somebody who had nothing but is now earning a living, which is seen. I was telling you, this is something I wanted to add when he had just finished submitting. During the inception of the program, we had guidelines. I believe you know that. The president guided through microfinance that we have a guide on how the program can be implemented. You know, many Ugandans who are focusing on financial inclusion, but there are many other pillars which were guiding our beneficiaries, even us, the leaders, on how the program can be a success in our areas of operations. So when that guide came, where people were looking at financial inclusion, but there was also a pill of mindset change. Where people should know why they are supposed to have the money, why they should be in groups, why should, you know, even I hear the Baganda saying, you know. Now, when the guide came, first and foremost, why people are more organized under the help of the president was that we first prepared them. How do you form a group? How many do we need? How do we strengthen them? That's why I am still thanking Microfinance Support Center, because they did a lot of work during the start up to where we have reached now. Actually, if I see them relaxing at times, I want to slap them. I say, you're going wrong. This is the time when we need them more than we need them, because the money is already in the field, and a lot of money, billions of money is within people. So if we don't work together and cooperate and monitor, then we are going to lose out. And it is not the president losing out, even ourselves we are losing out, because this is our money. So when so people have benefited, and so people were sensitized and mobilized. Actually, the work of the RDC when we were starting was to mobilize massively. People get to know what the program is all about, so that people organize themselves. And when we were forming these circles and associations, already people had groups that were in place. So what we could only do, maybe by the guidance of microfinance, was to convert them through the other groups they had and give them another name of Emyooga, and they move on. For example, I was interacting with the border circles, and so you would find that even women, when I talk to women and youth, you could find that the group was already there in place. So when Emyooga came, they could now give it a name of Emyooga, maybe youth Emyooga something, and then they could give them the money. So sensitization was done. And it is still ongoing, because we have to keep on talking. I'm telling you, when we were doing verification, something I observed myself with my team, one, was like the management itself, the leadership has a weakness. Some circles, leadership, they are not trustworthy. And they get the money, they use it on their own, and the beneficiaries don't get it. We have few of those we registered during our monitoring. And we say that is wrong. We have some circle leaders who had to run away with the monies, and the beneficiaries could not get the money. And they are waiting up to now, they need the money. So we said, those are things we could find. We say, okay, fine, now the chairman and the secretary and the treasurer cannot stop the circle to keep on. We have to move on. So that these ones, we leave them, we investigate them. Then we shape these ones, and they keep on moving, because the money has to keep on zizarezi, you know. So monitoring is really helping. So I was still on Okrot. So Okrot, there are very many. Maybe next time, if you give us a chance, we should. I was telling my brother, Mr. Chirunda, that why didn't you pick somebody from another division when I also have my own people?
Well, allow me skip Okrot and rush Okrot and rush to Chirunda. Now, Chirunda, we've had success stories like the guest I have here, Opolot, but there's always been bureaucratic issues arising that actually many would be beneficiaries, because of a lot of bureaucracy, form, fill, this, that. At the end of the day, the ghetto youths, the ordinary Ugandans are not able to tap into this. Yes, Madam RCC has alluded to the fact that we organized, we did sensitization, but still there would be beneficiaries that are failing because of the high bureaucratic tendencies to access this money that are required. Briefly hint on that.
Thank you. To me, I don't think there are bureaucratic processes. One, we have to make sure that this money is protected, because at the end of the day, there's a question of accountability. If I rashly give out this money to anyone who will show up then I might give the money to the wrong people, to the wrong category of people. Secondly, the people who say that the bureaucratic processes are quite long and lengthy, I would advise them this way. One, there are several people or several stakeholders who have information on where the circles are. One, the divisions where these people reside. The commercial officers are there, there are information desks, there are community development officers who help us form the associations that form the Emyooga circles. All these people have the information. The office of the RCC has the information. The office of at Ministry of Trade, all these people have the information. Ministry of Kampala. There are several opinion leaders, LC1 chairpersons in the different areas, LC2 chairpersons have this information everywhere. So it is just a matter of you approach whoever you can or who's closest to you to make sure you get this information. Now, the due process has to be followed. Like I said, there's a question of accountability. If I want to get Mr. Polot here and I want to give him money, today he could show up in a category of fishermen. The following day he will show up in a category of border borders. Now, I am looking at thousands and thousands of people every day. I might not be able to put a name to a face immediately. With time, I can be able to do it. But remember, during the formation of these things, you're looking at so many people. There's so much going on. So we need to follow the due process, make sure the formation starts from down, from the grassroots, with the assistance of the other stakeholders to make sure we have the right people. That is where usually people feel that the bureaucratic processes are making the process long. It is hard to get the money, but the testimonies are there. You go down today, you go talk to anyone, you go talk to people in the field, you'll find that the people receive this money.
What has been the payback rate? Because this is a revolving fund. I use it, I bring it back for someone else to use the same money. So when you talk about payment, let's try and see how are we performing.
So in terms of recoveries, this is actually one of the biggest challenges we have today. Because of the poor mindset of the people, that the funds were given to them as a thank you vote from the president, we faced a challenge from the onset. But with the various trainings, with the various engagements we've had with them, they've tried as much as possible to send back the money and pay back. Today, I can put the recovery maybe at about 40–45%, which is quite huge, expected, and this is also a very big movement from what the program had started with. So with time, with continuous engagement of the masses, with continuous engagement of the beneficiaries, I believe we shall be able to achieve. Yes.
Well, now I'll come to Polot. Just have your parting shots in the interest of time. As we move out of here, what is your last message?
My last message, I would like to talk to the youth of Ugandans, the youth of Uganda, as to shy away from doing wrong things and engage in circles, government programs. For example, the Emyooga programs are there, the PDMs are there. Let them engage in these programs so that they don't be pulled by bad groups to go and start burning coal and the roads, the what, engaging nasty activities. I would thank our chairman, Senyonga Sulaiman, Namialo Madina, our treasurer, our president, Tuhabura Museveni, and the office of the president, then the micro support center, the commercial officers from KCCA, Ministry of Trade, and also UBC program, the UBC team that has hosted us today. Lastly, I also thank my mother who gave birth to me and educated me up to university. Thank you so much.
Oh, now I have a carpenter who is a university graduate and a beneficiary of the Emyooga.
Yes.
Okay. Now, that is Polot Alfred, who is the secretary, Kasubi Parish Carpenters Emyooga. Now, before I come to the RCC, I'll go back to Chirunda for your final remark.
First and foremost, I'd like to thank the government of Uganda under the leadership of the President Museveni. I'd also like to thank the various stakeholders, KCCA, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Trade, the Office of the RCC, and other stakeholders who are players in the space of Emyooga. I'd like to thank the beneficiaries who continue to use the monies and using them in the right way, and also go ahead to encourage those that have not used it the right way, those that have adamantly refused to carry out the AGMs and the audits so that they can be able to access the additional seed capital. I'd like to encourage them to go ahead and do it. The funds are available and we are ready to serve them.
They are ready to serve you and the funds are available. The question is, those that are not going to be able to pay back, how are we going to recover that? That is a talk for another day. Now, Madam RCC, as we move out of here, first, this is public concern.
Yes.
Now, we have the new presidential route. I think this is within your area of jurisdiction. We've had some drama happen there. Also some few inconveniences, most of those that apply that route. Briefly, a message to Ugandans on that, then we wind up with them.
No, thank you so much. Of course, I thought I would first talk about security, which is very important, because everything we do, it has to be security. It starts with security. And there is a lot we have done as far as security is concerned. We met the LC1s, you know, LC1s contribute almost 100% of their villages, where they come from, and knowing their people. That we have done it. I thank God that the route now that is created is in my area of operation. Do you know what it means every day now hosting? The president passes there. Now, the challenge, you hinted on it, one, is that there is a challenge of Noop people. When they created the route, it is Munyonyo, Kabaragara, it takes up to Mkwano, reaching here when the president is passing. So the challenge that we have among the many that we are handling is that many of the Noop people are using it to demonstrate. They demonstrate, they jump into the road where the convoy is passing, then the borders also drive to the road, and some hooliganism also, you know, and I'm appealing to the general public who are seeing me on UBC that we should stop it. This is not about politics, it is about a presidential route. We have to respect the president. If he's passing, people should clear that. I was speaking with my security officers this morning. Imagine now, by early morning, officers are already on the road. But also the second challenge that we have, my brother, is that we don't have enough manpower as far as police is concerned. You know, recently they also took some of my personnel. Now we are handicapped. Police is not enough in Katwe and Kabaragara, and deployments have to be done. And these new people are now demonstrating. Now what do we do? So we request people to respect the president and respect us, because we have to keep peace. So when I was doing my routine of security meetings in the division, I told the people that we don't people on the main road. Everybody should leave, because that is a route, we should respect it. And I said, those who don't want, we are going to give them chiboko. We shall put them, because we have to do that. Lastly, of course, we have a challenge of the terror threat. That will be another topic when we come here to discuss about that.
A few minutes to get out of here.
But we are working. So the big challenges that I have in my division, one is manpower, which is not enough, and I appeal to IGP if you're watching me. We need more, you know, in our NANG. Then secondly is Noop. Nope, that one will manage it.
And on Wednesday, last Wednesday, I was caught between that confusion. That's why I brought it out. I saw a lot of nonsensical acts.
Yes, many of them. But like, we are managing as security. It is not good. We don't trust. So lastly, as we wind up the program, is to appeal to the general public that this is government money. You take it, you should bring it so the other people can get. I was telling people when we were in the field that it is in the Bible, and God talked about it. He said, when a wrong person changes and does what is good, his or her would have saved his money. In our Nyankore, he said, omuntu mbi kwari hinduka yareke byo kushisha bye ariyaba yakiza amagaraje. So if they can stop mismanaging government money that was given, then we would have saved many Ugandans. And lastly, still, sir, is we thank the president, and we should pray for him. Somebody who brings an idea and it touches the lives of very many Ugandans, that is a miracle. He's a miracle. We should pray for his life. We should pray for his family, so that we see him alive. That is the only thing we can do, is a prayer. But all in all, I'm happy to be hosted here at UBC. I thank the management, and I thank my brothers for coming here. I hope I will not stop here. I need to carry on the mantle.
Well, I have to let you go, Madam Deputy RCC in charge of Machindi, and of course the gentleman from the Microfinance Support Center, and of course one of the beneficiaries from Kasubi Parish under the Carpentry Circle. Above all, you are a viewer who's been with us from 6:30 till the extension, which is Good Morning Uganda Extra. Very important to note is, if you partook of this money, it is revolving fund. Please, this is money you have to return, so that someone else can benefit from the same money as well. And not to forget, the money is still there. Organize yourselves, seek right information. The problem sometimes we seek information from the wrong people. Seek the right information. Remember, poverty is not attached to tribe, not attached to political party. Go get that money, improve your welfare. Have a lovely day. May the good Lord bless you.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.